me somebody saw that.
Yeah, warrior flamethrowers would be great, except we just talked about load issues and memory problems. And
giving you control over exactly how much fire, is in the level can be a problem.
Our game would instantly turn into just screenshots.
This is one of the things that, like, when movie people, are critical of games or wondering how come games, have X and Y problems that we don't seem to have in movies as often. I'm like, realize that in a movie, you get to edit your movie. You get to take all of your footage and then edit it and get it exactly the way you want it. In a game, the audience is the editor. The audience is the one who's in charge of how long everything takes, what you linger on, what you focus on, what you spend time on. All of these things you have a lot of control over is given to the audience. And similarly, your budget for things like fire, you control that when you're making a movie. In a game, if you give the player control over something, they can do whatever they want with it. I think we've talked before about how, as a Halo player on the original Xbox, I used to, have fun just smacking a dead grunt again and again, and they had no limit on the blood decals that they would put on the floor. And so eventually I would just reduce it to a 1 frame a second slideshow that way.
Yeah.
You give people control over that kind of thing, and they will destroy their own experience. Whoa. Oh, I see what you're doing. That gun is effectively a flamethrower. Like, people who ask for a flamethrower, they just don't realize it's already in the game. The fireworks rockets
It throws fire. Flamethrower.
Yeah, pretty much.
Definite.
It throws something, and then the thing is on fire. Madrian, I doubt flamethrowers will ever be added to State of Decay 2 just because they are a fundamentally different kind of weapon from every other weapon we have. It would take a lot to sort of add that feature to the game. And it's also, you're already able to fill the world with so many fire particles just with Molotovs and things. If we added the ability to do it with a flamethrower as well, it could be very expensive and cause a lot of nightmare problems. One thing I did think of back early on, we did think about including a flamethrower in the game very early on in the process, and we, rejected it at some point. But the way that I'd have been imagining it working was you would have to have a fuel rucksack on your back, and it would burn through the fuel rucksack, and then the fuel rucksack would be discarded afterwards. That's how I was imagining it work. This was very early on, where even how fuel rucksacks worked had not yet been decided. So that's why I thought that was a good idea. I don't think we could just make that work with the current game, because what does a half-full fuel rucksack look like? What does a, 7/10 full fuel rucksack look like? It's too complicated. It would be weird.
Thanks for watching. If you have ideas for future videos, leave them in the comments below.